Hi guys, so today we're having a look at two face products from Studio London by Superdrug. This is their new, more affordable brand. We've got the Flaunt Flawless Perfecting Foundation, which has got an SPF of 30 and boasts a 12-hour wear, and their Flaunt Flawless Cream Concealer Weightless Full Coverage Concealer. So, I've got the web pages for both of these up so that I can let you know what they're saying about them. So, foundation it's £9, it's currently on offer for £7, but I don't know how long that's going to last. And you get 50ml. They are vegan and cruelty free, by the way. All of Superdrug's own brands are cruelty free, so it's a good easy go-to. Right, let's see. So, get an instantly perfected complexion with Studio London Flaunt Flawless Perfecting Foundation. The light formula is ultra buildable, hydrates skin, and seamlessly blends for a full coverage perfection, lasting up to 12 hours. Formulated with an anti-pollution active and SPF 20. So I've got shade 20. I've got the picture up with the shades. So, oops. I feel like this is the opposite to most brands, where this deepest shade up here is shade 1, and shade 20 is the lowest. It is a bit more yellow based than I would ordinarily aim for, but the one beside that was very, very pink, and I have a lot of redness to my skin, so out of the two I'd rather go for a yellow base. Then we come to the concealer, whose page has decided it doesn't want to load for me. That's helpful. So I've got shade 11 in the concealer, so shade 20, shade 11, no difference apparently. When it comes to the concealer, 11 is the second lightest shade, or there's a shade 12, right? But the shade 12 looks very yellow. It looked a bit more neutrally, so I went for that. It is £5, and they say, conceal imperfections with Studio London Flaunt Flawless Cream Concealer. The creamy full coverage formula blends seamlessly while hydrating and brightening your complexion. So, let's just point out, that's not a lot of shades. So, 20 shades for foundation, 12 for concealer. Foundation is slightly better, there's 8 more. But 12 shades of concealer? I mean, I would almost want to argue that you could go with less foundation shades, more concealer shades, and use the concealer to kind of like balance out whichever bit of the foundation didn't quite match. Because concealer is generally going to be the more pigmented of the two products, so it's more important to get a good match of that than the foundation, in my opinion, anyway. But that being said, we've done our makeup with these today. I've got a little application section, and we're going to see how this wears through the day for me. So primer wise, I've just went with the I Heart Revolution Beach Delight. This is one of my favourites. It's a mattifying kind of silicone based primer, and yeah, let's go. Flaunt Flawless Perfecting Foundation. So this is a little bit warmer looking than I would normally have gone for, but I couldn't get to a tester, so we'll see. I had a foot around online and this looked like the best one, so it's looking paler on camera than it does in real life though, so maybe it'll work out okay. Zoom you guys in a wee bit more. Oh man, my skin looks so angry. And then I can just bite over it and it's gone. I suppose that's one thing with this being a bit warmer than I would have ideally went for. We're going to neutralise all those red tones quite effectively. So, okay. So it's not like a crazy full coverage. So probably want to build this up a little bit. And the Flaunt Flawless and Perfecting kind of suggests that I'm going to be able to get the full coverage that I desire out of this. And I've basically run out of product already. Okay, so backing you guys off a little bit to see the bigger picture. It's an improvement, but I definitely want a bit more before I go in with the concealer. So yeah, this is an affordable brand, but it looks like if I was using this foundation every day, I would go through quite a bit of it. I mean, obviously if you had better skin than me, you would probably use less. Yeah, that's a bit better. I mean, it is blending nicely, but to be honest, lower coverage foundations I find tend to. So, and it is quite a thin consistency. So I would definitely say you probably want a palette, because if I had put this out onto the back of my hand, like I sometimes do with foundations, I think this would be running all over the place with the consistency. Especially with like the heat from your body. Okay. It's not sitting nice on my nose, but my skin's been a bit funny, so I'm gonna hold judgment on that, because that might be a me thing rather than a foundation thing. Going back and tapping it, because there is a couple of brush marks. Now it's a second layer. I mean, the colour's fine, so that's good. And that's not just on camera, that's off camera as well, it looks okay. So when you get in so you can see, I don't know why I'm just, oh, I mean, zoomed that close, you're never gonna like it, are you? But yeah, I think if you've got any kind of like texture imperfection in your skin, this is not going to sit nicely on that. I know foundation's going to sit perfectly on it if your skin's not perfectly smooth underneath, but I've already got a silicone primer on underneath this that should have done a little bit of the work for that. Yeah. Right, let's try the concealer. So this is the Flaunt Flawless Cream Concealer, shade 11. Foundation was shade 20. The shade numbers didn't match up, which I kind of wish they did. Makes it easier to know you're buying like the equivalent. But this did look a little bit paler than the foundation, so we can use this quite generously. It looks really weird in the bottle. Like, it's almost as if is it glass? The plastic that they've used for the bottle isn't completely clear, and it almost gives a bit of a greyish cast to it. And like, I've held it up to the light, and even the base of it where there's no product, I see a bit of a greyish tinge, which is very strange. Is that a good carrier bag you found? Take it off him in a minute. He's good at leaving stuff alone once I point out to him that he's got it. He knows it's not for him. He knows he's got toys everywhere and that's not one of them. Sorry, this is my dog I'm talking to, if anybody's new to the channel. child running around playing with carrier bags. Okay, so that concealer, I quite like that. It's sitting nicer. So where to put it? I'm going to put a bit more on my upper lip area of that concealer because it's sitting nicer than the foundation, and hopefully it'll cover up that little bit. It looks funny. My nose looks a bit better now. Yeah, that's nicer. Okay, powder wise, I'm just going to use the RCMA No Colour powder because it's my go-to that I'm familiar with, so I try not to change too much when I'm doing foundation reviews so that I know what's, you know. I feel like if I tried to review a primer, a foundation, a concealer and a powder all in one, if it wasn't perfect I wouldn't know which one was the problem. So I've got a primer that I know, a powder that I know, and I know how they work on my skin, and the new foundation and concealer in the middle. I did buy a cream blush, but it's a bit of a plummy dark purple colour, and I think with the red eye makeup and the red hair it would be a bit of a clash to use that, so it's going to have to wait for another day. Yeah, this is set down nice, so what I'll do is I'm going to go downstairs, finish the rest of my makeup. I will go in with a setting spray once like my blusher and everything's on, and then yeah, we'll see how this goes. But the time just now, it is 10 to 10, and yeah, I'll be back with check-ins at some point. Right, so I'm back for a quick check-in. It is 2 o'clock, just after 2 o'clock, so this has been on just over 4 hours. Got a little bit of oil breaking through, but also I've apparently scratched my nose at some point, so I thought I'd come and check in with you. So, see, I mean, I've drawn like a line on my nose, so we're gonna fix, whoops, we're gonna fix that. And where did my powder brush go? I'm sure I had one here. Okay, well, I'm gonna go in powder. But yeah, it's looking alright. I've got a wee bit of creasing under this eye. For a friend that doesn't know, I'm 35, so I'm getting to that stage. So I need to think about that now. Anyway, so yeah, I'll be back with any further updates. Right, so back for just a wee quick check-in. It's actually only 3:45, so it's not even really been 2 hours since the last time I checked in. But I feel like I'm getting, not shiny again, but I can definitely see the oil kind of starting to break through. So yeah, a bit faster than it was last time. And the coverage doesn't look great on my nose yet again. It's never said that this was, you know, an oily skin foundation. Got little creases going on under here. Again, I think this is a bit to do with my oily skin kind of unsetting the foundation so it can then crease. So yeah, it doesn't boast to be oil controlling, but it does boast 12-hour wear. And, you know, on my nose we're kind of pushing that. But yeah, I'm going to go and powder everything down again, and then I'm away up to my parents, and then I'm off to ice hockey, so it'll be a bit longer between this and the next check-in, and we'll see what we have at that point. Right, I'm back. It is 10:30, so we're past the 12-hour mark, and okay, I'll give it that. It's technically still there, 12 hours in, so 12-hour wear. But for me, there's a very big distinction between, yes, it will be there 12 hours later, and it looks like something you want to be wearing 12 hours later. So let's zoom in. So, first of all, it was ice hockey, so these are glasses marks, not counting them. I must have scratched my nose. I don't know what I've done to my top lip. Don't know what I might have done over here. And yeah, this is just really like went into pores and looks quite bad. I know I don't normally get mascara transfer like that, so I don't know if this is a bit creamier than my normal concealer. That's caused it. And these creases are back again. However, because this is quite a creamy formula, even though it's been on all day and it's been set with powder more than once, I can still blend it back out. Like, so I mean, I guess in that sense, you know, you can fix it easily, but I would rather it just stayed looking good. So yeah, I'm gonna say that neither of these are particularly my cup of tea. I don't necessarily want to say that they're bad, because I think if I didn't have oily skin, this would have lasted much better. And then I feel like I have kind of bigger, more open pores because of my oily skin, which is what made it look particularly bad on the nose. So potentially, if you had not quite as oily as me, but not so dry that you've got a bit of texture, basically if your skin's already pretty much perfect to begin with, you know, these would be a decent option. But unfortunately for me, with my skin type, it's going to be a pass. I don't even really see myself using them again. I had been thinking that, you know, I might be at least interested in the concealer again, until I saw what was going on in my under eyes, and I realised that this must be a bit of an oilier formula than I'm used to. Will I be able to see? I don't know why I'm looking at the ingredients, because to be honest with you, they give everything their kind of like chemically names, and I don't know what it means. But there was stuff about there being antioxidants in the foundation, if not in the... So it's water-based. Oh no, and it's got silicone in it as well. It's got talc, glycerin. Glycerin I think is quite moisturising. Ginseng root? Don't know what that would do. That'll be the antioxidant, I think. Yeah, no, I don't know what these things are. But no, if you have oily skin, I would say pass on these. And if you've got really dry skin where there's texture, when I was putting it on, I feel like it clung to any texture as well. So if you're in that category, also pass. And then there's the fact that the colour range is not fantastic. Bonus points for having an SPF of 20, but unfortunately for me, not happening. If you've got any questions after that rambling conclusion, leave them down below and I will get back to you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.